The moment Judge Edward Chen leaned forward, the entire courtroom went still. "Miss Bondi," he said, calm, firm, and composed, "this is a courtroom, not a campaign stage." Pam Bondi paused mid-sentence. The confident smile vanished. The energy she carried drained instantly. She had walked into federal court expecting applause. What she got instead was a legal reckoning, one that would follow her career from that moment on. This wasn't just a hearing. It was a public correction. Before we dive into this unexpected clash that sent shockwave through Washington, drop a comment to let us know where you're tuning in from, and subscribe if you still believe facts matter more than political theater. Because what happened in that courtroom changed everything. Pam Bondi entered ready to dominate. As a staunch Trump ally and Attorney General hopeful, she was used to winning on cable news, turning tough questions into political sound bites and silencing critics with force. She thought court would be no different. She was wrong facing Judge Chen. Bondi launched into her opening like she was speaking at a rally. The American people elected President Trump to protect this country. That means strong borders. That means bold action. That means Judge Chen raised a hand. He didn't flinch, Miss Bondi. He said evenly, "Please cite the statute." She paused. "Excuse me." "The statute," he repeated. "You're asking this court to support a policy with constitutional weight. I need the legal basis, not a campaign speech." Bondi froze, then tried to recover. "Your Honor, as I was saying, the people voted." Judge Chen interrupted again. "The people do not write case law. Congress does. This court follows the Constitution, not public opinion." He didn't raise his voice. He didn't have to. The tone alone shifted the room. Bondi faltered. She looked down, shuffled her papers. Her hands moved fast, too fast. Then she pulled out her phone. "Your Honor, I have some references here." Judge Chen leaned back, unmoved. "You intend to argue federal law from a phone?" That single question landed harder than any critique. Bondi had no reply. It became clear she hadn't come with legal arguments, just talking points, slogans, headlines, but none of that mattered in court. Only the law did, and the law wasn't with her. Judge Chen's gaze narrowed. "Miss Bondi, you are asking this court to validate legal authority. That requires citations, precedent, constitutional reasoning. Do you have any of that today?" She tried again. "We believe executive power." "Belief," he said firmly, "is not a legal standard. Authority is." The room was silent. Bondi glanced around, looking for support, for something to ease the pressure. But there were no cameras, no cheering crowd, just a federal judge who saw through every layer. Then came the moment no one expected. Judge Chen leaned forward again, his voice steady, but sharp as a ruling. "You are not just unprepared," he said. "You are unqualified to present this argument in a federal courtroom." Right then, Bondi understood. This wasn't going to be a win.it, was going to be a lesson, and it had just started. She blinked, once, twice, but said nothing. Judge Chen didn't add another word, and no one else did either. There was nothing left to say until he spoke again. "Let me be clear," Chen continued, his tone now colder. "When you stand before a federal court seeking to defend policy, you do not bring slogans. You do not lean on popularity. You do not treat public opinion as if it overrides the Constitution." Bondi's throat tightened. When her voice came, it was lower. "Your Honor, I understand your frustration, but I believe the administration is acting within its executive authority." Chen looked directly at her, then explained how. Bondi flipped through her notes, searching for something solid. "There's precedent," she said, "set during the Obama administration and Bush for executive action on immigration." Judge Chen didn't move. "Name the case." She paused. "Name one," he repeated. "A single precedent where executive power overrides statutory immigration protections." She opened her mouth. Nothing. Then came the line. "Miss Bondi," said Judge Chen, still composed, "in this court, we don't argue from memory. We argue from law." It struck harder than if he had shouted. Because he didn't need it or he held all the authority, and everyone knew it. She tried once more. "We believe this is about defending American sovereignty." Judge Chen tilted his head. "You are confusing belief with jurisdiction. This court does not validate political views. It determines what is lawful." Bondi's jaw tensed. Her fingers clenched her notes. With all due respect, Your Honor, he cut her off again. Calm. Precise. You've said that twice. Respect isn't earned through repetition. It's earned through preparation. It landed. Quiet but absolute. Even opposing counsel didn't smile. They didn't have to. The judge had done the work for them. Bondi's breathing grew shallow. The certainty she entered with had shifted into something sharper. Panic. Judge Chen pressed on, voice measured but resolute. Let me remind you, he said, your presence here isn't a privilege of office. It's a legal duty. And the standard you must meet isn't popularity. It's constitutionality. Then came the final question. Miss Bondi, he said, locking eyes with her, did you prepare a single constitutional argument before walking into this courtroom? The silence was her answer. She opened her mouth, closed it again. He waited 5 seconds, and no further questions. Judge Chen turned back to the bench. The moment had passed. But not really. The damage was done, and it would last. Pam Bondi had come to argue a case. Instead, she found herself the one being judged, and she was losing. Judge Chen never once raised his voice, though he didn't have it, or he simply flipped the page on his docket and said, almost casually, let's proceed. But everyone in that courtroom knew. They had just witnessed a blow so sharp, so final. It didn't need a replay. Pam Bondi's entire plan, whatever strategy she had walked in with, was unraveling faster than even her toughest critics could have imagined.